Yo, dude, can you hear me? What's up, man? How you been? Nice, dude. You ready to run the zombie game or what? And hey, dude, listen, don't be stingy on them doors, bro. You gotta be contributing too, man. Hey, listen, bro. I remember you talking about wanting to start a YouTube channel and just checking to see how that's going, dude. Honestly, I think it's your time. Like, honestly, dude, what do you have to lose? Listen, man, I've started, and you probably already know there's like 5 YouTube channels at this point. Some of them did really well, and some of them didn't. And you know what? If I didn't start at all, I would have never found the niche that I actually care enough to make content for. And I think you just need to take the plunge, man. Heck, you might even pop off sooner than I did. And I would honestly love to share with you some of the things that I've learned over the last few years. I've got 2 channels right now that are actually paying me from AdSense. And I would love to share 3 things that I did on those channels before I launched that really helped me be set up for success. So the first thing, dude, is I made a list of 10 videos within the niche that I could actually see myself doing without compromising my authenticity or burning out talking about. So listen, man, there's so much pressure right now to create these highly performative videos, highly super edited Zoom sound effects videos. But honestly, I think a lot of people are getting tired of that style. I think my encouragement to you, dude, would be to build your brand for the long game. I think you just need to be authentic or at least be on brand for the character or the persona that you make. Like think of that peanut guy on Twitch, right? There's so many variations that you can do for your branding on YouTube. You could do faceless, you could do the masked persona type. Again, think of the peanut guy, or just straight up you on camera. Oh, and also, dude, don't sweat gear right now. Literally, your iPhone will suffice, man. You can worry about legit cameras down the road once you're actually getting paid from YouTube. And don't get ahead of yourself, right? There's plenty of free resources, tools, video editors out there that you can use in the beginning while you're learning this whole journey. And it really is a journey, man. Like you shouldn't put too much pressure on yourself. It really is a journey. Now, listen, dude, early on, I thought that I needed the nicest camera, the nicest mic, and I thought that would make me blow up. But, dude, the problem is neither of those things are going to fix bad content. Work on content first. Now, that being said, dude, if you had to buy something, I'm always going to tell you to invest in audio. People are pretty forgiving on YouTube when it comes to camera work, but nobody wants to hear a horrible sounding video. And I don't say that to scare you. Like, believe it or not, you can get away with some pretty decent audio for, mics under $100. But again, if you had to pick one, I would always encourage you to invest in the audio side. Even those wireless lapels you see a lot of people using on TikTok, for instance, they can be pretty decent. Just make sure you always test the audio quality before you full send it. I've shot videos where I didn't test the audio first. I was rushing, and then those clips ended up being a total waste of time once I got to the editing phase. Either the audio was clipping or maybe it wasn't fully plugged in. And then I was only capturing like room audio. Super annoying. So just slow down and really make sure you're testing before you fully send it. Okay, let's move on to my next tip. After you make that list of 10 videos, what you want to do is you want to see who exists, who and what exists within your niche that you're hoping to break into. Now, some people call them competitors, but I think a healthier reframe would be to think of them as potential collaborators or even just sources of inspiration. Okay, you want to figure out what and why of what they're doing. So click on their channel, see what videos are popping off, see what's not popping off. I suggest doing this across like 5 creators within this niche. Now, you should be making a list and roughly 2 videos per creator. That should be enough. And then you're going to simply compare your new list of ideas against your original list. See where there's overlap. See what ideas you can run with. See which ones you can put your own spin on. But also don't be afraid to truly experiment and try your own thing, even if no one else is doing it. Like, dude, YouTube is an experiment, and you just got to kind of embrace it early on, is that you're going to suffer through the learning experience. Even with all the best tips in the world, YouTube is still a learning game. I'm still learning, dude. Every time I upload, I'm learning something new. And which, speaking of learning, you're going to become best friends with analytics. You're going to learn all these new buzzwords like CTR, for instance, and you're going to learn how does your video actually do in the digital space. But I want to warn you of something, dude. You don't install the YouTube Analytics app on your phone, okay? You're gonna be tempted to check analytics constantly if it's accessible to you like that. And it's gonna kill you, dude. It's gonna drain your mental well-being. You're gonna be constantly obsessing, checking as soon as your video drops, how many clicks, where's my CTR, dude? It gets really, really heady and really noisy. So just do yourself a favor. When you upload a video, just let it chill there for a couple of days before you're going and checking on it. Like, don't drive yourself mad. But now when you are going to go check on it, really look at the numbers and kind of see what kind of patterns are emerging after you upload. Now, obviously, once you're making this new list of what your competitors are doing, you might want to go back and kind of tweak your original list, that you've got some inspiration, or what I call auditing. Now, the easy temptation here is just to jump right on in to the obvious, which is filming or scripting. But let me give you one last tip that I really think helps me make banger videos on my other channels, and that is making thumbnails and titles before I film and before I script anything. Yeah, I know it's a little weird, but thumbnails and titles are actually how everyone else is going to experience your brand. I find that making thumbnails and titles for the first, before I actually launch into making a video, actually helps me get in the right frame of mind for the video. There's tons of tools that you can use out there for making thumbnails. There's no need to jump right into Photoshop. Although I will say that despite using the free apps out there to make thumbnails originally, it did get me traction. I will say that once I actually learned Photoshop, it opened up a whole new world of editing. There's no need to jump right into it from the jump, but I will say once I learned Photoshop, it opened up a whole new world to me. It actually allowed me to become way better at making thumbnails in the exact style that I wanted, and even stand out amongst my competitors in my niche. So again, if you're all going to invest in things, audio and learning Photoshop, in my opinion, I think will really set you apart down the road. But again, no need to jump into that right from the gate. Now, truly, nothing will make you a better creator than just making 1,000 thumbnails and titles for yourself and failing and learning and failing and learning. That's really part of the process. You are going to always be testing. Every video is giving you information about how it sits with your audience, and you've really got to lean into that. Even if a video doesn't do well, that doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're learning. Where in the video are people clicking off, right? Maybe they're only getting to like 2 minutes within your video in a 10-minute video. Well, what's happening at that 2-minute mark? Is your script going flat? Is your audio not sounding great? Is your B-roll not, connecting with your script? Figure out why people are dropping off at that mark and then work on that, right? If your click-through rate's bad, work on thumbnails. They even have a feature now where you can do A/B testing. So maybe you make 2 thumbnails per video and 2 titles per video and see what's actually resonating better. It's all going to be an experiment, but don't be too hard on yourself, dude. Now, I will say, make note of the thumbnails and titles that the other people in your niche are doing. Like, what is the style that's really taking off and what are people clicking on? Remember, thumbnails and titles aren't for you, okay? It's for your audience. So you got to learn to speak the language of your audience. That's what's really important here. You might be a natural creative and you want to have maybe a really ultra slick, minimalistic vibe, but if that's clashing with your niche, remember, like, it's more important that your audience gets into the video than you just being, ultra proud of your thumbnail. The thumbnail and title aren't for you. It's for them. And if you can remember that, then you will do really, really well. Now, I'm not saying clickbait, but what I am saying is speak the language of the niche. And that might take some time to learn, and that's okay. Also, dude, little bro, let me just encourage you right now. Do not go on Fiverr and start paying for designers to make you a Mr. Beast style thumbnail and title. That market, dude, is so saturated. And honestly, people, like I said before, they're burning out on that. You will do yourself so much. You will do so good for yourself by just making titles yourself and thumbnails yourself. You will learn so much about your brand and niche. And also, like I said, use inspiration from the creators in your niche, dude. Like, start experimenting. That's the biggest part here. Now, I know I said don't obsess over the data and the analytics, but if there was any benchmark that you wanted to really, really be observing, that it's going to be your click-through rate or your CTR. I think if you can get your thumbnails to average at 6% to start, you're going to be in a really good spot. If you can just maintain 6% or higher, you're in a good spot. Okay. If your thumbnails are below that, you might need to be doing some more experimentation, tweaking, and to get you to that 6%. 6% is really where you're going to start to see some takeoff on your channel. If you can consistently hit that, then you're going to be doing great, bro. Now, the most important part, and I cannot stress this, dude, is that, I've said on a high level, these are the 3 things that I've done to reach some success. That is very true. But the most important thing, little man, and I can't stress it enough, is you got to have fun, okay? Literally, if you aren't having fun, you're going to burn out, you're going to quit. Just be consistent, keep going, and keep learning, bro. You got this. All right, man. So listen, bro, I got to hop off. This was a great game. Got to bounce, but I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, right? Cool. All right, bro. Listen, dude, tell your grandma I said hi. All right. I'll see you tomorrow, dude. Bye.